this is fascinating to me. Tell them what the plan is. Even this.
Okay.
How do you describe it?
I'm going to answer both those questions in that order, because it wasn't I that developed it. It was actually God developing me. I had no idea that my background was actually preparing me for putting the plan together. Because what is necessary in order to do that for calculating, you have to get all of your data authenticated. That means we have to know everything that's correct. Plus we have to validate the process and everything that we're doing. So those disciplines are very, very important. Matter of fact, in an IRS return, there's up to 600 different tests to validate the data. So that was my background. And that was what was actually preparing me for doing this. So then when it came down to the time is, I'd realized I'd been lied to. I wanted to find out what the truth was. I'm going to find out for myself. I'm not going to take anyone's word for it. I'm not taking any teaching on it. I'm going to see what the Bible says. So I sat down, went through the whole Bible. I did a complete inductive study of the entire Bible 4 times through in chronological order. I took every single date calculation with the assumption of one date, and that's the fall of Jerusalem, when there was the Babylonian captivity, placed that at 586 BC, worked my way backwards through 66 date calculations to get to Adam's creation date.
Wow. So yeah, this is fascinating. Also in the plan, now you go through all of the Bible, but right there at the beginning, you're actually throwing out a date. You're saying, hey, my calculations, the 66 from the fall of Jerusalem, give it to us. What do you got there? What is it?
Well, that was one of my amazing discoveries when I found, is I came up with 3960 BC. Exactly.
3960 BC for the creation of the world.
Right.
Wow. Now, this, a lot of our listeners are familiar with James Ussher and the work that he's done. I'm sure you checked that out as well, right? And kind of did a comparison?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I did my calculations before I realized that his work was re-released and republished.
Gotcha.
So I had done my entire calculations, and I thought, well, he's an expert. Let's get a second witness on this thing, just like Paul says, let everything be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. Let's get a second witness on this. So I compared his to mine, and I went through all those 66 calculations, and I found we agreed on all of them but 2.
Okay.
And since the way my methodology was I used the exact text of the Bible inside of the formula for each calculation. I couldn't change the text of the Bible, so we agreed to disagree on all but 2. We're only 44 years off as far as the difference goes.
Wow.